Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangout. Noe Pedro Ruiz, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week, Mr. Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
Pedrock. I forgot to call you Pedrock. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to bring inspirational projects to you folks. Today's coupon code is PIRADIO.
That's right, use PIRADIO to get 10% off in the Adafruit shop. We also got brand new.
Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. We have UPS free shipping for $200 more on an order. Same day delivery for stuff. Pedro, tell me about that.
And brand new, just announced, all new subscription service from Adafruit. Curated products, exclusive deals, unique collectibles, a mystery in every box.
Yeah, this is a subscription service. PT and Lamar have been working on this for a while, and it's coming soon. So sign up if you guys want to get a monthly subscription box of mysteries and stuff, goodies and things. Pretty cool. There's FAQ. So if you want to know more about it, more information about it, you can check out Ask Engineer, where they talked quite a bit about it. Quick programming note: we do have a newsletter, Daily Dose of Adafruit. Go to adafruitdaily.com and sign up for different categories.
Best place to get your daily tips on electronics, biohacking, maker news, and of course 3D printing.
Yep. So we'll start off with what are you prototyping? This is where we talk about this week's project, which is the PIRADIO. Here's the PIRADIO. Last night we weren't able to demo it, so you can demo it now if you want to tap play.
And so it's a Pi Zero radio, and it's using Node.js to connect to NPR One, and we're using the protoprocess conductive filament to activate all the touch, so we can sit here and play it.
Guys, it's an internet radio. That means it connects over Wi-Fi. So to get the audio working, Lamar worked on this new amplifier. It's the Max 97358, and it's basically a 2-in-1 breakout. So it takes an audio DAC and an amplifier and puts it in one little breakout. So you can wire this up to your Raspberry Pi and get analog audio out of it. So you can hook up a speaker directly to it. You can do up to 3 watts, I believe. You check out all the technical details on the product page if you want. So it is a small little breakout. And in the project, you can see it's red because it was a prototype when Todd Treese, who pretty much made the project, he asked us to make a 3D printed enclosure for it. So we made a 3D printed enclosure for it. We were I milled out some wood because he's an avid woodworker and he wanted to make it an enclosure out of wood. He's been working on it off and on because his main priorities is to work on Adafruit I/O. So like Pedro was saying, proto pasta conductive PLA for the buttons.
Planning to join the terrorist
and it's basically a command line app for the Raspberry Pi, but it's also for Linux and other things. Here's the GitHub repo that Todd has put on GitHub. Go to that, right quick. There it is. It's really straightforward to install it. We're still working on a learning guide for actually putting the hardware together, but as far as the software, you can get this up and running right now. I don't have the command line open. Well, I do have it open, but I don't have it wired into my Wirecast. So you can use your control. You can use keyboard controls too, like spacebar and different arrow keys to control it. But that's why we have the NPR One. That's a capacity touch sensor that's wired into the Pi 2, the Pi Zero as well. Is what I meant to say. As far as loudness, it's pretty loud. You do have volume controls.
Politicians this election year is a woman who is not even.
There's the lowest volume setting. It increments it in by 10 values. And I really like this project. It's really fun. There's a little heart button on the side for hitting interesting. And it's using the NPR API, which is an open API that third-party developer can make it for. So it's pretty cool. I really like the clear acrylic case. And there's a mess of wires in there because I got a little lazy, but the way we got the wires hooked up to the PLA is with bare conductive paint, which is a paint that has conductive particles. That's pretty much the whole project. You can, of course, remix it. I designed the case in Fusion 360. I did a couple layer by layer tutorials on putting this guy together. Yeah, I really like that acrylic case. It's really, really nice. I haven't done an enclosure where you can like see through the top of it, and it's really nice. Gives you that DIY aesthetic to it. All the ports are available, accessible. So there's the Pi 0 ports there. SD card on the sides. You can take it out if you want to, and that's about it. That's the project.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at the comments. John is saying, this is a perfect little amp for the Pi Girl 0
Yes,
project. And this is exactly why Lamar made this.
Yeah, originally we were going to put it in the Pi Girl 0, but the time didn't match up, so it might make just a good upgrade to the Pi Girl 0 project if you do want audio in. But, you know, the audio sounds pretty horrid on the emulators. They're a little choppy, specifically on, you know, Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo is a little processor intensive, and the Pi 0 guys is like what, 700 or 900 megahertz. Mm-hmm. So that's it. But yeah, I love NPR. It's a great. It's a good news.
Yeah. So the buttons are printed separate. The buttons are printed separately. Can't wait to do an updated model where we could dual extrude this. Dual
extruding this on the Sipme BCN would be amazing. I could probably dual extrude it on the FlashForge Grid Pro, but it probably would have a lot of messiness to it. Even with an U shield, it's not the best. Not as good as the BCN. Mm-hmm. So yeah, really like this project. Hope you guys like it too. Files are up on Umagine. So I have it up on Umagine. You can check it out here. Umagine. I'm totally promoting Umagine more these days because I like it. Again, we talked about the jam features. It's a new feature that the lovely folks at Ultimaker are working on, and this like shows you the full assembly of it. So it's really nice. Took some really cool pictures of it. Here it is. Check it out. Download it on Umagine, and post a make if you do make one. Just a couple different parts. I did add the NPR top logo thing. That's the acrylic piece. If you do want to 3D print it, if you want to CNC mill it, you'll have to make your own G code, because the G code I made is specifically for the other mill, but I'm sure you could CNC mill it using your CNC mill if you have one. If not, 3D print it, no problem.
Yeah, Kirby in the chat room is mentioning that he did a multi-color print of the top enclosure.
Yes, that's cool. Right. It's very cool. Thank you, Kirby. Post up a link. People can take a look at it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Can it run Octoprint? Yes, but I would not recommend it.
Pi 0.
Pi 0.
Yeah. It should be able to run it, but
yeah, I've tried it.
Like an UI on it.
Yeah, just like Jesse Light, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. We are going to make a project for that little mini Octopi ramp.
Yeah, it's going to be next. So let's talk about the next projects. If you guys have any questions about it, let us know. With the Pi 0, we'll come back to it. But take a look at that.
So we've actually got another little medium-sized Octopi rig.
Do you guys remember the Touch Pi project I made like a couple years ago now? This is the Raspberry Pi 2. It could be a 3, but I have a 2. And a 3.5-inch Pi TFT. That is the biggest Pi TFT that we have in the Adafruit shop, the Lamar builds. And I thought I'd make a nice, simple enclosure for just those two things. So what I'm using this for is to put a UI for Octoprint. So it's a two-piece enclosure, no hardware. It's using the latest like snap fit clamp mechanism that I made, that you've seen me make for all the projects that I've been making so far. Nice big ventilation in the back there, saves you a lot of time on printing on material, and it keeps the Pi nice and cool. Pedro, what's that little hinge there? Go ahead and open it.
Brand new.
Inspired by shampoo bottles. This has a skin flap, very thin 2-layer skin flap that acts as a hinge, and it prints in place. So it's a hinge that prints in place. I'm very proud about that.
Yeah, very awesome.
There's some all the ports are accessible. So you got audio, HDMI, USB. I have 2 dongles in there already, and what is that? Ethernet. Yeah. Again, the little standoffs has little nubs, so they snap into the things. You can open it if you want. Let's see if you can. Can you bear it? You kind of like squeeze it and then push it out. Yeah. That's how good the clamp is. So there it is. Very nice, very simple, and that is the enclosure. That is the project I'm working on. There's no assembly required other than like plugging the Pi and the Raspberry Pi together.
The headers come soldered in now.
That's right.
So very cool. Really like the little.
Yeah. So I've been testing the Touch UI plugin for Octoprint with it, It runs really well. Pedro, you posted a video of it on Facebook. It got a lot of attraction. A lot of people want to add a screen to their Pi rig. You can, of course, you can add like an external display, but this puts everything together. A lot of times we see the Raspberry Pi like mounted on the side of the printer or like behind the printer. It's nice to be able to have the printer up front and center and touch UI.
Yeah, so this will be, I think, either next week's project or the week after.
Yeah.
But I think after, because I just finished up my project.
Oh yeah, I
Jump
have a
over
video
to that.
for it. Let's look at the video for it. Check this out, guys. This is an FPV mini monitor. Remember we talked about it 2 weeks ago? Pedro took some time, designed the enclosure, printed it out, did a couple of design iterations for it, and here we are outside, checking it out. This is a, what's the screen and things?
Yeah, so this is a 2.5 inch. So it's designed to be a mini ground station. So if you go to like an FPV event and you want to check in, you want to tune into like one of the racers, you want to see what they're seeing. And a lot of people, some people get like motion sickness from putting on the goggles. And if you just want to carry a tiny little monitor with you to check out, what other people are seeing, this is definitely the little monitor, little viewer, spotter type thing you could take with you. It's a little small to be able to FPV through it, but went ahead and made the little mouse to attach to your controller anyway. But it's designed to be like, for like a spotter or something like that, or if you want to be a spectator at a drone event.
Yeah. How do you change frequencies and stuff? Can you do that?
Yeah. So there's a window in the back. I don't have.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's buttons
Sneak
on
peek.
the back of that, built in right to the lid, and you can switch to the bands and the channels on there. You can also control the brightness on that.
Okay. So what are the components? You got a transmitter?
You got a transmitter. You got a power boost. We got the 2.5 inch TFT that we have in the shop.
Mm-hmm. Is that a composite or HDMI?
Yeah, all of these are all composites because of the overlays that
NTSC.
are put on there.
All right, well, it looks pretty clean. Of course, if you've seen FPV before, you get that glitches and stuff just because that's the nature of the connection. What kind of?
So we're using the Walkera F210 on this.
Yeah, it's just
super fancy.
It's a run-of-the-mill racing drone. No, it's a very nice racing drone. Very nice one. Very new.
Using all the new hotness, like updated.
New hotness.
Yeah,
all the updated new hotness.
The motors and the power supply that's going to it. It's like the hot.
The hot new hotness.
I don't know what else to say on that. It is.
So Pedro,
it is scary.
Pedro let me fly it, which is usually he doesn't like to let me fly. But I was able to fly it, test it out, and Pedro is. Guess what this is, folks? This is a DJI Phantom 4 footage of trying to follow me. No, active tracking.
Active tracking the Walkera.
Yeah,
here.
a little dark. Apologize because it's like 6 p.m. or whatever over here in the States. But we got this last night, literally last night, because our internet went down. And the sun is already set. So this was kind of fun. It's very, very challenging, guys, for a racing drone to stay still. It is meant to go hauling ass. So it was hard for me to keep it steady. And
I was surprised.
It's just nowhere comparison to the DJI in terms of like stability, obviously.
Yeah, no, I was surprised how good the DJI was able to keep the tracking on it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be very handy for filming this episode.
Yeah, I'm going to love filming this one. This is fun. We're gonna go to the park, obviously. We are registered drone flyer pilot guys. We paid the money, so we're legit here. But that was really fun. This is a fun project. So if you guys haven't made an FPV monitor or you want to extend FPV monitor this is a good little project. How much do you think it costs in parts?
I think about $60.
$60 in parts. Usually a fat shark is going to run you like $200, $400.
No, $500.
$500. That's a lot of money. So yeah, that's Pedro's project. Lot funds.
Not fun, yeah.
More yeah. Jelly, man. My project's like a box.
Mine's a box too.
Yeah, it's a nice box though. All right. That's it. That's where we prototype and we're working on those projects.
So go ahead and jump over to this week's Shop Talk.
If you want to pick up the Pi or the screen or power boost for your projects, PIRADIO.
Yeah, you can get all the parts right now.
Parts on top here.
Yeah. This will be, like I said, probably next week and then the Pi rig week after that.
Okay. What do you want to do next? Shop Talk?
Shop Talk.
Shop Taka. We're going to start off with drones again. We already started with drones. So this is our Monday's drone. And so we've been doing Milling Monday. I'm going to take a break on milling, and we're going to do Drone Mondays. So every Monday we're going to try to do a new drone promotion thing leading up to June 6th. So close.
It's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, 2 weeks away. So here's a little commercial promo that we made for the Dronies. Of course, the Dronies is a contest that Adafruit is holding for film, drone footage, quadcopter, whatever copter, multi-rotor. And we went to the beach on, I think it was Friday or Saturday of last week, and we brought the Phantom DJI 4 with us, got some footage. Yeah, this is what was on Monday's video, so we're just talking about it. The website is adafruitdronies.com, adafruit.com/dronies. So, man, this is such a great shot. Look at how the water wave is crashing. Yeah, that's super dope. There it is. Adafruit will be shipping orders up Memorial Day. Be sure to get your orders in before Monday, I guess, or Friday, one of those things. So adafruit.com/dronies is where to go to enter. A lot of great judges. Put 0 on that. Prizes. I just shipped out all the drone trophies to the Adafruit office, so they'll be shipping them out whenever they judge and things. I'm not sure how long judging will take, but I don't know, a couple weeks maybe or so.
And don't forget to submit your awesome footage if you have any, or
Yes,
if you want to
please do.
nominate anyone, go ahead.
Yes,
Check
please
that out.
do. And if you saw Ask an Engineer, Phil played next week's drone video because he's cool at that. That's it. Drone fever.
Yeah.
Adafruit loves drones.
Yeah. So in shooting the promo, it was really tests for learning how to fly the Phantom. And I think 2 years ago is when we got our very first drone. It was the Iris from 3D Robotics.
Yeah, Adafruit was actually a distributor for the Iris 3DR.
No comparison. I mean, when we first got into it, it was still very developer-like. There was a ton of code that you have to do. You always had to dance with drone to calibrate it. There's
Yeah.
always GPS issues.
I didn't feel too
fly
safe
away.
flying it.
It was
I
always
had a
super
couple
scary.
of issues. We were a part of the drone, the Iris group on Facebook, and lately it's just been a lot of issues and things. So being photographers and videographers, we really wanted something that could have all these safety nets in place, and that DJI Phantom really is leading the way in terms of just for videographers.
Yeah, there's no comparison in terms of being able to fly.
And
get
we
a really good
no
shot.
longer carry the Iris and the Iris Plus
Yeah.
for reasons unforeseen. I don't know. I don't know why. But yeah, we're still really good friends with Chris Anderson, who put Lamar on the cover of Wired magazine. So they go way back. So it's always good stuff. All right, what else, Pedro?
If you guys checked out over the weekend, it was Maker Faire in the Bay Area.
Oh yeah,
And
Maker Faire Bay.
There was
Area.
a really
Tony and Bill B were there. Check out the videos if you haven't already. PT played the videos on Ask Engineer. I don't have the videos queued up here, but very good job, Mr. Tony D.
Yeah,
And Phil
so
B?
one of the coolest talks on there was about 3D printing projects done by the very cool Brook Drumm of Printbot.
Yeah, so this was awesome. This was called 3D Projects. I forget what time it came out, but if you want to pull it up, you have to kind of dig through it. It's on Make's Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/make/v, and I will put the long string of numbers to get there. But Brook Drumm had a really great talk on 3D printing. A lot of people have talks about getting started with 3D printing. This one was about actually using 3D printing and what he's done with it. So he put together a book a couple of months or maybe a year ago on what projects he's done, what projects you can do with a 3D printer. He had the notion of Yoda heads are cool, but it's much more cooler to actually solve a problem and make something that does something with 3D printing. The novelty of printing out Yoda heads, he kept saying Yoda heads, is wearing off, and he really is using it to make functional stuff, and that's what we always pride ourselves with. We're always making things do something with our 3D printing, even if it's just a box, it's an enclosure, whatnot. So he had a couple of projects here, a couple of different demos. He had animatronics, so he had these eyes. He actually 3D printed a case for a drone, for an RC car, and the whole I won't say mantra, but he flat out said, look, 3D printing is friggin' hard. It is challenging. It is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It is expensive. I really like hearing that because a lot of time people be like, it's easy, it's great, it's really here, you can get into it.
New
It's all
printer
good.
for
It
kids.
is, but it's really hard, guys. It's very challenging. There's a lot of heartaches and stuff, especially when it's your job and you're doing it. You almost end up like hating it. Like a lot of times, I'm like, man, 3D printing sucks. But you get through it, you persevere, especially when you pick a challenging project. And that was the thing too, is to challenge yourself to make a project that you can learn with. And that's what we always try to do with all our projects as well. So big shout out to you, Brook. I really appreciate you telling the truth. Printing is hard. There's a lot of mess ups and things. So if you haven't checked out the talk, inspirational, check it out.
It's about 4 minutes in, 4
Yeah.
minutes and 40 minutes.
Oh no, it is way in there. It is about 4 hours.
4 hours.
This is
yeah,
a
that's what I meant to say.
long stream, yeah. So it is, the time code is about 4:15, 4:14, 4 hours and 14 minutes. Check it out. I like it. Twitch.tv/make. Good job, Mr. Brook Drumm. Of course, he was also showing off the printer. Let me hit pause on that. He's right there. He and his team were showing off the Printbot Simple version 2. It's got some new stuff, linear rails, touchscreen, LCD.
Very nice ribbon
better,
cables.
Yes, better wiring management, an off-on switch, good stuff. Carbon fiber, I think.
Some design notes taken from the Printbot Play, which has been operating fantastic.
Yeah, it has
so
been.
we've known about this one for a little bit now.
Yes, as distributors, we got to know, like, hey, we're going to discontinue. Well, I think discontinue. I don't know if they're discontinuing.
It's a
Green
model
one,
update, yeah.
But they've updated.
So
and, we
ours
have
is
some
on
coming.
the way, so we're going to be testing that out. Obviously, stocking in the shop. Very excited to test this guy out. Looks really good.
Yes. Yes and yes. I'm looking forward to test the Simple. Phil B managed to catch a video of the Printbot Simple version 2. Guess what it's printing? That, friends, is a Pi Girl Zero. So the Pi Girl Zero will fit on the bed volume. Bed.
Look how fast it's going.
I think it's
Very
cooking,
awesome.
man. Jeez. It is, of course, a 150 by 150 by 150, something like that, 6 by 6 by 6 inches for you Imperial heads out there. Yeah, thanks, Phil B, for snapping this. I didn't know they were printing Pi Girl, and I didn't see anyone else take photos of it printing Pi Girl, but yeah, it's really cool. Follow Phil B on Vine, too. Is Philip Burgess on Vine? He is...
You can see all the cool projects that he's working on.
Painted
He also
Dragon.
runs the Vine account for Adafruit, so definitely check those out.
I'm sure you've seen all his projects.
Yeah, so
his
I can't wait to
NeoPixel
test
code
this
everywhere.
guy out. It's gonna be
Yeah,
super
looking
cool.
forward to it.
The only thing that we need is a black version of this guy.
You don't like the white one? White's the new black.
Another cool machine that we're getting in to test out. The very awesome BCN Sigma.
Yeah, we're thinking about
dual
stocking this in the
parking.
shop. We really think the dual extrusion parking notion of parking your printer heads and having separate instead of having this big one unit for dual printing is very, very smart. And it's not like brand new. People have been doing this since 2012.
Yeah, we
but
actually
it's just
reported
now
about
that
this about
manufacture-
2 years ago
Yeah.
on the show. We showed somebody who modified their Ultimaker to
Yes.
have a dual parking system.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they had not jumped on this.
Weird.
This is a really good idea,
Yeah.
especially for us since we do a lot of dual printing on NinjaFlex with conductive filament. This is
Looking forward to it. The only downside, man, I don't like 3mm filament. Sorry, guys.
So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is try 175.
We're going to try
version on
175.
that.
Pedro managed to get 175 working on the Ultimakers. Pedrock, nobody believes you, but hey, you do it every single day. I don't know, nobody believes you. You're crazy, crazy Pedrock using 175mm on his Ultimaker 2. I don't know how you do it, man. But we did a video about it, if you're curious.
I don't think you have it queued up, but another machine that we're getting in
What?
the other...
Another?
Yeah, we're getting the new other mill, version 2 that was just announced.
I don't want
2
to
days
review
ago.
stuff. I just want to build projects. I'm tired of reviewing printers. Anyway, the Other Mill Pro. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
All right, Other Mill Pro. Big shout out to Danielle Applestone. Thank you so much for sending it our way. We're going to try it out. I guess I'll have to get back into PCB design or something.
And it looks like I got to make more room back there. Throw some other things into the garage, but
Yeah. We're going to have to
pretty
donate
excited
an
for these.
Ultimaker too.
Pretty cool.
Cool stuff. That's Shop Talk. I don't know what else is there. What do you think, guys?
Next up for Shop Talk,
I got nothing else.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this week's Community Makes.
Community Makes. my favorite segment. Talk about projects that folks are building. Here we are on the web. First project is this one here. Nope. Mr. Quincy from 3D Kit Bash. Tuesday, we had a time-lapse Tuesday of printing this awesome skull. It's the sleeping bag skull. So check out Quincy on Thingiverse, Pinshape, all the places. He has 3 models that are up, or 4 models that are up for free. But guess what? He has a Kickstarter campaign running. He is designing a bunch of different Star Wars-inspired skulls. So be sure to check it out. You have until June 4th if you are interested in supporting him. But he makes amazing designs. Quincy, if you are listening, we'd love to interview you, man. Because you are in West Palm Beach. And guess what?
Yeah, right down the road.
We're right down the road. We're in West Palm Beach, too. We're not in New York. So, yeah, that's going to be cool. So that's just a big shout out to Quincy and Natalie of 3D Bit Cash. I'm sure you guys have heard about him. His work is phenomenal and all over the place. Next up, did you guys check this out? This is a 3D printed Terminator arm that actually works, printed on an Ultimaker. Looks legit. This video is like the bomb diggity. He like animated like the arm like doing
A
all
lot of
these
CG things in there.
I don't know. It's very cool, but
Definitely check that out.
check it out if you haven't already. I think we posted it on the blog. If not, I'll have a link here. This is just a fun video. I like it. Nice build video too. So good stuff. And then next is Mr. Joko Library, Thingiverse user. What's your real name, buddy? Sometimes people put, yeah. So, okay, so this guy works at the Johnson County Library. They have a makerspace, and they're using our DIY reaction button as a counter for their makerspace. That is awesome. That's exactly what we wanted this project for. So it's actually useful. I mean, you don't have to. It's got a novelty to it, but it actually serves purpose. If you guys haven't seen this project yet, check it out. It's a fun one. And next up, shout out to Thomas Stanlader. Sorry, I butchered your name, but Tom, great person to follow on YouTube. He has passed 30,000 subscribers now, so be sure to check him out. I guess he's going to start doing more project videos, which we love. Love his reviews as well, but I really like project videos. So he put together a Bluetooth speaker amplifier thing. Yeah, audio amplifier. This thing's awesome. Very cool. So check out that if you haven't already. Shout out to Aidan, XYZ Aidan. Did an update to his extending actuator. Soft robotics is his name, is his game, and 3D printing is his
Name calling.
name.
So check this out.
Yeah,
It's
this is a really cool project. Be sure to check out Aidan on YouTube and Instagram and Twitters. It's good to see iterations of projects. You revisit a project, you can make it so much better. So very, very cool. Using better materials and design stuff. Good job, Aidan. Mr. RichRap, Richard Horne, he did a video this week on OpenSLA printer. He is starting OpenSLA project, so check that project out on Google+. In this video, he talks about some resins, LEDs, a couple different things. I almost said bad word. Good stuff, Mr. Richard RichRap. That's it. That's all the makes this week.
Very cool.
Yeah, leave it there. There we go. All right, I think I just ran through that. That was the community makes. If you guys have any projects,
Another community sort of make was Octoprint updates.
yes,
Gina had a
Cannot forget
hangout
Gina.
for the Patreon backers.
Yeah,
She was just talking about
Thank you.
all the updates she's working on. She's going to be doing some breaking everything up into components, so it's a lot more easier to manage and to do maintenance on. So if you check that out, back Gina if you're not, or if you use Octoprint on a daily basis.
Yeah, consider supporting her on Patreon. This is a Q&A. She's going to do one, I think, once a month or once a week, something like that. Probably once a month for specific patrons. This is one of the perks, and there's a couple other different perks. So check out her campaign on Patreon, patreon.com/Fusel. So yeah, it's really nice to hear Gina and the stuff steps she's working on to sustain.
Keep him busy.
Keep him busy. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Let's just say that was shop talk. We jumped around a little bit.
Next up, we got Q&A.
Okay, Q&A. We got a couple questions this week, and we'll answer your questions live on YouTube and after these questions here. Let me cue it up all the way from the beginning. Right here, this one's from Daniel. He actually has a comment. He's really pushing. He's telling us to use components. I like using components. I use them all the time, but for this particular project, the how to make finger joints, I didn't use components because I didn't think it was necessary. But he's also saying check out parameters. There's a parameter window, so you can assign like values like thick instead of like a number, and then apply that to a value like a thickness or something, and you can change it a lot faster. I agree. I just haven't got into that yet. And I don't find myself changing things like that too much because I know what my tolerances are since I've been printing a while. But yeah, if you guys don't use components, use them already, and check out the parameters window. I think that's what Daniel's trying to say here.
Cool. Next up.
Thank you, Daniel. Next one from Charles Crawford III. He was on Show and Tell last night, and he's basically saying that he would like us to 3D print a prosthetic hand from Enable. He gave us a thing of our speak, and we are going to download it. We're going to print it, and we're going to do a time-lapse Tuesday on it. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you, Charles. We're going to make time for this. Yes.
Cool.
Good cause. Thank you. And thanks for coming on the show and tell. Scotta1725 saying on the Pi Zero Lair, the Raspberry Pi Zero NPR Lair, he's saying, would it be possible to create a single sketch of a full section in both internal and external surfaces and then sweep around the entire surface? You could create a single sketch with both the top and the bottom lips. This will reduce the construction of the lips to 3 steps. Create a sketch with a top and a bottom lip and sweep the top and the bottom. Yes, that is a really good technique. I will try doing that. I think actually I did do that for this project, so inspiration everywhere. I appreciate when people give out like some tips and stuff. It's a full circle thing where you give tips, give them back. Thank you, Scotta, for the tip. Next one is from PigeonFX on the how to make finger joints. He's saying, is there a way to apply this technique to a 6-sided box without having to unfold everything into a flat pattern? And then he gives me a imager link. Most likely, I haven't checked it out myself. If you guys have any ideas, let them know. It's on the how to make finger joints video on YouTube, obviously. But if you're really looking for an answer, the people over at Autodesk will be happy to help you. There is Taylor Steen, who is on Twitter, Taylor_Steen, I believe. Or you could just post up a question on their forums. So that is another option as well. Cool. But I will check this out too and give it a shot when I have some time. Next one is from Christopher Justin. He is asking, do you think it would be possible to friction weld the joints on the sliced Pi Grill Zero and then sand it down for a smooth finish? Now, I haven't tried friction welding myself, but I've seen people like Matt Griffin and others try it, and it works out well. I've seen Barb Makes Things. I've seen her do it. Possibility, give it a try and let us know how it goes. I think it's a good idea. Though the finger joints, I see what you're saying. He's just trying to smooth out those finger joints to make... Yeah,
it seems like there's a ton of different ways.
There's tons of different ways. My way is to like use XTC and primer paint, and then just sand the crap out of it until it's nice and smooth. So there's several options, but I think it's definitely worth trying. Last question is from Scotta. Again, love the tutorials. I would recommend making the lip a bit wider for better print quality and a quicker print. It should be a multiple of the extruder width. An example: make the remaining lip 1.2 millimeters. Because that equals 0.4 times 3. Yes, that is a good tip as well. Is to keep that's another example of designing for the medium, specifically with your nozzle and your layer thickness.
Yep.
That is a good tip. Thank you, Scotta. Next one is from Catborg TV on the Skull Wars from 3D Kit Bash from Quincy. What did you slice this with? I can't see those settings in M3D software. Well, every week we'll keep telling people every week, check out M3D File. Where's M3D File? Is it over here?
It's already open right there.
There it is. Let me move that. So if you haven't already, you can run Octoprint on the M3D using a plugin from Devin. I call him Devin. He wrote M3D File. Pedro, what do I do here? Click on control. And then what? Filament? I don't know.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to tell people that you can. How did you slice this with? I don't see those slice settings.
Oh, that's
you can use any slicer.
Simplify 3D.
Yeah, you can use any slicer though. You can use Cura as well.
Mm-hmm.
And M3D has a built-in slicer.
Yeah.
Specifically for this, right?
Mm-hmm. So with using the Cura plugin, he did a lot of work to make it so where you could just drop an STL inside there and do all your slicing right on the Pi.
Yeah, I crashed.
Very cool.
There it goes. I was gonna upload an STL and be like, hey, look. Which one? This one? There we go.
It's any STL, yeah. You can see how that looks.
We're gonna do the button. So when you import an STL, what do I do here? Slicer, Cura engine.
Yep. You have a bunch of different profiles.
These are pre-built.
All built in, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna print PLA.
Yeah.
Profiles that
Micro.
after slicing.
No, just have it selected for slicing.
Cool.
Next.
Hit next. I've never done this before.
Yeah, check out the UI on this. Very
This is
beautiful.
dope.
You can choose your quality, your infill, and you can do all of the manual setup that way as well.
I want more layers, more high infill. What?
You can select your raft, your brim.
Whoa! Look at
traction.
that, guys.
Yeah.
It's full
You can type it in.
blown.
Go ahead
Like
and click
that is
next.
raw. Hit next. Does it give me the model editor?
Yeah.
Whoa! Look at this.
You can see all that inside
This
there. You
is
can move it around. You
super
can
cool.
scale it.
This
you
is
can
all in the
duplicate.
plugin.
All
M3D
inside
File,
the plugin,
guys. Awesome, amazing job. Really extends the life of your M3D. Did you say your life?
You
The
can
use
cut.
case.
You can do a bunch of stuff.
I have a black one.
So we have the clear. What does the clear look like? Click on the clear one.
Is that the clear one or is this
No,
the clear
yeah. That looks the same. Oh, no.
one? Nah, it's actually clear.
Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
Definitely a ton of work
So
went into this.
this will obviously
I
give you a
don't
visual
know-
representation. Move it, articulate it, whatever.
Do the
Scale
slicing
it,
right
and
in there,
the
yeah.
real useful thing is it'll warn you if your thing is too big, because
You can
it
scale
has
to
a
the-
special.
fit to the bed, yeah.
At a certain height, it starts getting smaller.
Yeah, if you can see the top there, it gets a little bit smaller,
Yeah.
shrinks, and the head's a little bit too big to get in there.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah,
you-
as I forget what it is, at a certain height, it does get smaller.
Yep.
But perfect if you're printing like an Eiffel Tower or something, where the model gets smaller as it gets taller. It'll work for that.
There it is.
There's your bounding box.
Yeah, there's your bounding box. That is dope. Good stuff.
So definitely check that out. The Cure plugin is bundled with Octoprint.
Yes.
Although she said she's going to look at unbundling it just to make things a little bit more easier.
That's right. That's right.
Since Cura their updates did mess with a lot of the hard-coded files that are inside of Octoprint. But definitely check that out.
Yep, it's an official plugin for Octoprint, so you
actually
can
featured,
find it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can find it here. Makes Octoprint fully compatible with M3D printer.
brand new update came out 9 hours ago. So this is Devin is very active on this.
Oh, where did I
If
update it? Over
Devin's
here?
watching, where do we throw money at you?
Yeah, we need to throw some money
Since
away.
this is always being worked on. It's
Software
under,
update.
Yeah, software update. Click on that. Take you to changelog.
I think
No,
it's
down there where it says GitHub.
Update now?
No. Yes, click on that. That'll take you to the changelog.
Okay, thanks.
And then he's actually working on his own custom firmware for it. And a lot of fixes here, it looks like. So definitely check that out.
Okay, cool. That was a nice. We just
And
needed to give you guys.
not just for M3D, for any other printers. There's a ton of plugins that you can do, like if this then that, send you notifications, prints finish.
Yeah.
Super well worth it.
Okay, well, hope that answers your question. Catborg. Hitman is asking on the Pi Girl 2, does anybody know what soldering iron he's using? Any soldering iron in the Adafruit shop or any soldering iron, I think is going to work good.
Yeah, so
all
all
the
of-
soldering irons that we use tend to have Haku compatible tips.
Exactly, yes.
So we got a nice affordable ones down to $30, I think, all the way up to like $100.
Just started stocking a brand new one as well. So
And a new one, yeah.
Yeah,
Plenty
check
of
that out.
soldering irons.
All
And get
compatible
yourself
Haku.
10% off if you use
Yeah.
the coupon code. All right, thank you, Hitman. Next one's from Eric on the Let's Build Live Star Trek communicator. A small tip. This is a good tip. If you drag the threads of a screw across a dry soap bar, it'll help tapping a hole. This is an old working trick that works with many things.
Very cool.
Live long and prosper, Pedrock.
Cool.
Thank you, Eric. That's a great tip. Step Chai. He's asking. He says thanks for the G code. Yeah, so we sent him the G code for. He was curious to print it on his M3D. He's saying he scaled it at 200%. We scaled it at 180%, and he run it at 30 millimeters a second with 1500 backlash speeds and 1800 speed for X and Y. The max speed for X and Y. The print finished in 13 hours. Pedro, it took you 8?
About 10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah.
And he's wondering if the Simplify 3D slices things faster and results in faster printing. Can you show us on your Thursday Hangout one more time the 3D file settings, particularly for the backlash areas? Thanks. Yes, we will. Let's show you that right now.
Yeah, so I don't remember where I read this, but Simplify 3D, the way that it affects the print speed, it doesn't actually look at the print speed. So the 50 millimeters a second was probably 50 millimeters a second.
Wow, okay.
It looks at other parameters to affect how fast it's printing.
Yep.
So you could put 10 millimeters a second, and it's still going to print fast.
Wow. So we have it set to 1440 on both the X and Y. So there you go. Is there a way to give them the Simplify 3D profile?
So this was calibrated
Okay.
on my machine.
Yeah, so Pedro specifically,
running
it might,
through the calibrator, yeah.
it might vary for you.
Exactly, especially if you scroll up to the top there. My backlash X and Y, I think the defaults were different for that. 0.4
so
and
0.4 and
0.6. So I
0.6.
just printed out a little cylinder until it was perfect.
Oh, cool. That's a great
circle.
technique. Yeah, just
Yeah.
print it until you get really, really good results on it.
And they have a very helpful guide on their website too to tell you what
On the
to-
M3D?
on 3D's website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Backlash speed, 1500, same.
Yep.
And again, 1440 is that.
All right, next
Yeah.
up.
All right, thanks, Step Cha. That's it. We're gonna do some live Q&A now.
Okay, let me jump over to the chat here. Electroman is asking, where is Colin? Colin is working on the new Circuit Playground, which will be out very soon. He's also working on a new episode of Colin's Lab.
Yeah.
Although, where is he right now? 11 o'clock. I think he's probably sleeping.
No, he's commuting. He's on the subway. He's commuting right now.
No, he has the
we-
adjusted time, so
we-
he works in the afternoon till late night.
Do you want to sneak peek So there's a new Pseudo Random coming out. It's all about mice.
Yeah.
Very good
So
one.
that's going to be a good one. Yeah.
We, of course, get to see it because we have access to the Vimeo account.
Yaz is asking us to talk about the 3D printed office in Dubai.
I don't know about this. Pedro, do you know about this?
I just read the headline, so it looks pretty cool. It looks like they're using big printers to make office buildings in
this-
Dubai, so that's cool.
That's awesome.
Kirby is saying that it is time for a garage sale for all the printers.
That's great.
We usually just
them.
donate
We
them,
donate them
yeah.
to either makerspaces or friends that
Yeah.
use it in their work.
Mhm.
They are, yeah. We gave one to Wayne, right? The simple metal. Yeah.
And Wayne, we gave one to Kirby,
Yeah.
Yanni.
Andrew. Yes.
Yanni T is saying that it looks like I have the same style of mugs, just different colors. That's exactly what it is. We just bought a pack
Mr. Coffee, yeah.
of Mr. Coffee
Yeah.
Cups.
They keep your relatively warm.
Warmer than the last ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Calvin's saying, this is way better than math class.
Aw, thanks. But math is very important. Like, yes. Real quick, guys, I want.
Oh, yes, he's also asking, how is the fiber connection going? They're still working on that.
Yeah.
They actually cut our Comcast cable while they
Look
were
at the
digging
workers
things
probably
up.
like dug the wrong hole. And
Yeah, so the fiber, I think, is with AT&T, which we don't have.
Yep.
We have the Comcast
we have
business,
AT&T
so-
for our mobiles, but not for like.
Yeah, we'll
home
take a look at
internet.
what the pricing is going to be for that.
Yeah.
But
Then maybe we can stream at 1080.
Oh, that would be
great.
sweet.
Right now it's 720. Sorry.
Yeah, so whenever we're done with that, we're going to take a look at the pricing for that. Although AT&T's probably piping fibers so they can do more faster NSA snooping.
Yeah, I need to 3D print my Snowden mask.
Officials from 11 states
And-
are now suing the Obama.
We already answered this one. Andy plans to redo Pi Girl with the I2S audio amp.
Yes, that'll be an
Yes.
upgrade. Yes, I got to get on that, but I got to wrap up these other projects that I have in the queue.
Yep.
But if somebody else does it and beats me to the punch, I will luckily, happily share about it and feature it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Looks like that's it. If you guys have any more questions, quickly type them in the chat.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week and weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend here in the
Yeah.
States.
So if you want to get some orders in, you got to do it before I think Friday, like at 11 a.m. because
Yeah.
we're not going to be doing any shipments on Monday.
That's
for
right.
Memorial Day. So if you need anything that is time sensitive, order today. Use discount code PIRADIO to get 10% off.
Get the stuff to make a Pi Radio. Todd just sent me the link to the public wish list. I will have this in the show notes. That's down below in the description of all the things that you can use in the project. Remember, I don't have a power boost or battery because it's just powered through my desktop here, right there. That's it.
Got another comment here from Yanni asking if we're going to be adding LEDs to the light engraving for the NPR radio clear.
That would be so
acrylic.
cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be pretty
I
cool.
actually want to get some fluorescent colored acrylic to make a really nice thing because I think that'll make it better. Because right now, it doesn't edge lit so good. But yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, man, that'd be great. It would have added a couple more, I don't know, hours or days to the build. Like in terms of like making a guide for it. Always try to keep the cost down as affordable as we can. But yes, that would be a great upgrade. Definitely want to get into that.
Kirby's saying, oh, everything is out of stock. You know, that's a good and bad problem to have, that every time we put something in stock, it's immediately gone.
Sorry, I know. I was like, the Pi Zero was in stock for like 2 hours. 2 hours, and we had two different kits, one with and one without the Pi Zero.
I know. It's only going to get worse as we start
I mean,
selling
we
it
got
to
a new
resellers.
they got a new pick and place machine.
We're making these as fast as we can.
Check out Dano Wall on Instagram. He is like the senior fabricator at Adafruit. He's posted some great photos of the inner workings. They have this like, have you ever heard of like a chocolate fondue? We have a chocolate fondue, but for solder.
Yeah.
It's super dope. I don't know.
All right, that's going to be it for this week's 3D Hangouts.
Yes.
I'm going to get back under the camera and start soldering.
Yeah, I gotta help you out.
And should have a nice flying weekend.
Weekend.
Definitely check it out. Oh yeah, and DJI just enabled live streaming to Facebook. So
be
go
sure to
ahead,
subscribe.
Like our Facebook page. We're going to be streaming live from a drone. We'll be in the sky.
Your eye in the sky for 3D printing. We're
can
gonna try to
twice as
lift
high.
the M3D on the DJI and see if that
We're going to do
works.
some 3D printing stunts. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much again. Good luck with all your makery goodness. We will see you next week. Until then, remember to live long and prosper.
Keep on making.
Bye, everybody.